Okay, Assalamualaikum and greetings everyone. Welcome back to Technology and Media Design course. All right, today we'll be talking about designing for multimedia. Okay, so we're gonna look at how to apply, for example, element and principle of design in your layout design. Yeah, bear with me, that's my picture. There's a purpose why I show you this slide with such position. Okay, in design there's a term called picture window layout, and this slide here has been categorized as picture window layout design. We shall talk further on that in different topic. Okay, so there are about 300 million PowerPoint user for information in the world estimation. Yeah, okay, even more, but and they do 30 million presentation each day, including my presentation today. But about 1 million presentation are going on right now, even more. Okay, however, 50% of them are unbearable. Okay, estimation unbearable. So it makes you wonder why 50% of the presentation are unbearable. Okay, so you can ask yourself, right, why? I believe you have some of the answers. Okay, lots of people are killing each other with bad presentation, and they are all dead. Okay, well, almost. When I go to conferences, you see, I've seen a lot of this situation happening. The presenter is right in front of them presenting the data collection, their findings, but the audience end up sleeping as such. Well, it's all start actually with bad presentation, okay, and from there it continues and go down the drain. It becomes bad communication, bad relation, and so forth. Okay, so this is why it's important for you to learn how to design your slide properly, and from that what do you call fully functioning design, your message will be delivered smoothly after that. So let's make the world a better place. How to do this first, what was wrong with the presentation just now? Why are all the people sleeping? Okay, first thing first, of course, you need to learn how to master presentation skills. You need to make improvisation with your presentation skill. Well, these have to take time, of course, along the way. As you have presented a lot of presentations, slowly you will master the skills. Okay, then second point is to do with designing skills. This is what we're doing in this course. We will learn how to design appropriately. Okay, and this can be learned. Also, you need to take note that a lot of us are visual learners and visual thinkers. Okay, so we learn by looking at visual better, right? Visual really helps to give clearer explanation, instead of you just using texts. With visual, on top of the texts, it delivers and delivers better understanding, as how it is with the lady here, Temple Grandin. Okay, she's quite popular. You can search her out. She admitted that she's a visual thinker, and even actually some of our friends, some of our students are also visual thinker. If you teach them using simply just texts without any support of visual images, photos, they will become less interested with your teaching. Okay, so, and in fact, there's a saying, picture worth 1,000 words. That is totally correct, because with one picture you can tell a lot of story, or with one picture or one symbol you can easily get what it means. Okay, I'll give you simple example, like the symbol of toilet, man, women. With just looking at the symbol of a man, you can go directly to the right toilet, right? Okay, as easy as that. So again, most presentation, what's wrong with the rest of the presentation, they just don't know how to keep it simple. Okay, it's pretty hard to keep it simple. It require you lots of training, okay, to design a simple design, okay, because most of us tend to include as much information as possible. You know, you think that if you don't include lots of images, lot of texts, people won't get the information you're trying to tell them, but it's not like that. Okay, you need to be able to summarize your information. You need to be able to use the right or appropriate images, you know, not too much. Even a few, even few images is enough to tell the whole story. There's a way on doing that. So you need to keep it simple, especially using all this clip art, you know. I mean, if for adult audience it is not suitable, okay, if you're looking to use it for kindergarten, for primary audience, primary school children, yeah, that might work, but not for adults. Normally we wouldn't encourage you to do so. So a good presentation needs sexy design, okay, engaging content, and positive delivery. So being positive is for you to be cautious. You need to be aware of culture issues, you know, not to touch on any sensitive issues. And you manage to deliver the message positively. This is what we meant by that. Okay, so what is good design? If you look at this design here, left and right, okay, on my right there's a part-time worker by gender, okay. On the left also it explain about part-time workers in Japan are women mostly, okay. I want you to just analyze two of this design, okay. There's no right or wrong in design. I want you to know that. It's just that whether design is more appropriate, more effective or not, okay. If you look at these two design, each of design has strength and weakness, okay. For example, on your right here, when you talk about part-time workers by gender, you see it's pretty hard to read part-time workers by gender. You can't really see that gender is not contrast enough. While on the left design here, you can read, you know, the texts clearly. Therefore, you can try to take whatever happened here, the elements here, into the design on the right. You should put maybe a drop shadow on these texts here to make it more embossed and easier to read, okay. That is just one example. So you can discuss with your friends, we shall discuss in class further, you know, how to improvise each design here. All right, for example, on the left here you talk about women, but the what do you call symbol that you use here does not represent women, okay. For example, you need to improvise on that part as well. So many arguments you can make based on these two, and you can discuss on how to further improvise them, okay. So first thing first, the exercise of becoming designer is to criticize, you know, the weakness of each design and try to make improvement. As you're making improvement, you are learning to become better designer, okay. Another exercise, right? As you can see here on the left and on the right, the lady here are not colored. It's just black and white, while the other one are colored, okay? Even the 72%, okay, number here are bigger than this one. They're actually bigger than this one, the left side. So there's always a purpose why designer produce such design, okay. You have to consider, for example, the situation where you're going to place this design. Let's make an example. Let's say if this design is being used as a poster next to a bus stop, perhaps, okay. You just put it like that and people wouldn't understand. What is 72%? I don't understand. You see, it's different if you use this design in your presentation in a conference, for example, where you provide this visual here, 72%, and it comes along with your explanation so people get it, you see. And And then people also feel like there's a focus there, oh, 72%, it sticks in their head that the workers in Japan are women, okay? And these colorful ladies here representing the 72%. With your explanation, you managed to explain it well, okay? But not if this design is being used as a poster to be placed somewhere else, people wouldn't get it. So the left side here works better, okay, for such purpose, right? And the designer here, when they do this, they are focusing more on the content. They try to describe actually 72% of the part-time worker in Japan are women. They want audience or viewer to see that first before look at the lady here. That's why it's in black and white, because that's not the focus of the poster, for example. Yeah. So you see, there's always purpose why you do something. Okay, why you design in such a way. So you need to remember that. Again, you can do exercise with your friends. Look at the left and the right design here, how to improvise. You can take the strength of each other and place it into one new design. Okay, you can do that. Okay, some of the audience, especially people who's into statistic and mathematics background, they like to see charts and numbers. Okay, and some might work. You might apply as chart as such, okay, to support better understanding for such audience. Okay, so what is good design? It needs to be simple. When you say simple, it's actually provide better understanding and easy to understand, okay, by your audience. So try to design, don't decorate, okay? Well, even if you yourself, you wear too much accessories, you will become like Christmas tree, you see. So try not to decorate. We just want to design a simple design. For example, here, by iPhone, I know iPhone now has higher version, no longer just 6. But I'm just trying to emphasize on their clean design. You see, most of the current design are such. They have like white background. They've used very sharp images, so the eyes of the viewer will look at the images of the phones first before the eyes move to another part of the layout, you see. So this is one thing. So the goal of design is actually to catch people's attention, provide information, and guide the viewer. You need to guide your viewer. It's very important to guide, okay? As I explained just now, the eyes of the viewer will look at the images first, and only, the eye will move to another part of the layout. So you are guiding your viewer. Okay, effective design, when it comes to, for example, like slides or presentation, make sure you use text that is big enough, okay? We would recommend to use nothing smaller than 24 points. This also depends on the type of fonts you're using. Arial, Helvetica, or whatever it is, they might have different sizes, okay? So but whatever it is, just set 24 and above, easier to read. And normally we would recommend to use sans serif font, okay, such as Arial, Verdana, Century Gothic, and all this related, because for screen design, for website design, for those design that you're not meant for printing, okay, not meant for printing, meaning like magazine, flyers or whatever to be printed out, just for the sake on screen, please use sans serif font. Sans serif, sans means without, or serif, okay, without any extension coming out from the original base of the font, okay. Some said tail coming out from there, no tail coming out, so that those are actually sans serif font, yeah. It's different with serif fonts such as Times New Roman, as you can see. Okay, there's extension coming out from the main body of the font. Okay, so serif fonts are actually harder to read on screen. That's why you see most designer, they won't use serif fonts for on-screen design. Okay, you can use it for magazine, newspaper, or whatever, but not so much on screen. Yeah, they have done research on this. Same goes italic are harder to read on screen. You know, some people, they go and put like italic throughout the, a paragraph, so it's very hard to read actually. Same goes to underline. People always think if there's underline means it's hyperlink, and you are making the design not user friendly if you put everything underline. You know, a user or viewer will think that they can click on every of those texts. For the matter of fact, there's no link, so it's not advisable to do so. Also, if you have long texts, or paragraph, you want to emphasize on certain point, you can just highlight those words in different color. Okay, so the eyes will focus on those words, and you can deliver what you're trying to emphasize just now better. Okay, don't use all capital letters. We are not grandfather, old folks, sorry, this is just a joke, nothing much, but old folks like to send SMS. My parents like to send me SMS with all capital letters, as in they're very angry, but don't do this. Okay, don't use all capital letters in a paragraph. Okay, it's not advisable. And don't read your screen. The thing with designer, you need to be able to summarize, okay, the long sentences. You need to summarize them. So it is recommended 7 words per line, 7 lines per slide. So we don't want to overload our viewers with too much information. We want them to understand the information, understand the message, okay? So advisable as such. So leave some blank space, or what we call in design white space. White space not necessary to be white, okay, means there's space here, as you can see, for your eyes to rest, instead of the whole slide being crammed with too many texts. At least there are spaces where the eyes can just relax a bit before continue to read the next text. Yeah, okay. And again, summarize. As you can see, this slide here and this one here are actually containing the same information, same context, okay? It's just that when you summarize, it becomes neater, you see? So you need to keep it simple, meaning you need to summarize the information you're delivering. Avoid using excessive bullet points. Nobody enjoy waiting for all the information to come out like this, and even some people are worse. They even add different sound effects. Okay, that's not entertaining. That's actually annoying. Okay. And then please avoid any distracting images or background. You dump, background of forest, background of whatever, images of you and your children at the back. Well, if it's not necessary, don't do so. Okay, keep it simple. Limit transition, animation, sound effect, like I stated just now. Okay, we want people to focus on the information rather on your, presentation, excessive presentation, which is not important to them. Okay, the information is more important. Try to remember that. I've seen some presentation even worse. They give different effect to every points they're making, like this. Goodness, okay. Keep it professional. Try not to do this. Okay, again, relate back to the audience. Who are your audience? Okay, if there are professional people, adults, try not to do this. Okay, and then keep it simple again, not too many colors. As you can see, a lot of professional design, they will use less than 3 colors, maximum 4. For example, like the media televisions, TV3. Okay, as you can see, they also use 3 or less colors. Air Asia, only red and white. Okay, you can have a look around. All the professional designer normally will use less colors. Okay. This one here, for example, you have 5 slides of presentation. Maybe one of the slide you use different design a bit just to surprise the audience or to attract and gain their attention. Okay, but to attract, not to distract, and you will continue to use the same design after that. We'll talk more on this later as we move on. Okay, color contrast is very important. Okay, you can use colors on text, okay, to bold and to provide sufficient contrast in comparison to the background. Okay, and if you do not know how to mix and match colors, you don't have to worry. You know, these days there are many other options, you know, on how to mix and match colors. There are design templates, existing design templates you can use. Even in Adobe Photoshop, they will recommend some suggestions. Okay, and it's important for you as designer to be aware of people who are colorblind. Yeah, try not to use certain level of red. Okay, for example, here one of this website, they are very considerate. You know, they are concerned about people who are colorblind. They provide a button where, you know, their viewer can always click on that button and the whole layout will change to black and white, so it's easier for them to read. So you need to know also about your audiences. If you're a teacher, you know, try to ask, is there any students of yours who are colorblind? You know, therefore you could design your slides later by taking into consideration of these people. Okay, color contrast is important. You know, we want the combination of color or foreground background to be contrast enough to read. Okay, as example here, the first one works, the rest doesn't work much. Like this color here, it's pretty hard for you to read properly. Some other colors combination there, as you can see, hurt your eyes, can go blind. You know, it's too sharp, right? What we want is contrast. Okay, not vibration, not low visibility or high visibility. This is what we want. Okay, we shall discuss further there later. Okay, and as if for color matching, you know, you don't have to worry. A lot of other website actually you can use to refer to, for example, like Nippon Paint. You know, they already provide with color palettes, what color works with each other, so you don't have to like think much. You can refer to them as well. For example, even like a design of existing fabrics. Okay, there's a lot of colors matching where you can refer to already. Okay, color and contrast again, you know, it's important to add, for example, darker letters against lighter background like this, so easier for people to read clearly. But if you are producing a design which require to be seen from far, there's a distance, right? For example, you're driving on highway and you produce a banner or poster design where you put at the side of the highway or the road. It is advisable for you to use lighter letters, okay, texts against darker background. There's a reason for it. We shall look later. And even texts design on website also, as you can see here, you know, it is not really pure white, bright white. Okay, since on screen design there's already lights, right? So it's not advisable for you to use like pure white. Okay, it's going to hurt the eyes when the black texts being placed on white background. Okay, normally the designer will use a bit grayish white. Okay, so your eyes are more relaxed when reading the text. Okay. Okay, light letters against a dark background also works, like I said just now. Okay, as you can see here, if there's require a distance further, okay, on a highway, for example, normally they will use lighter text on darker background. Okay, studies on visual factors in transportation system, they did studies on this already. This will provide better view, okay, for all drivers. And as you can see, for road which is closer, like internal road, you know, that's different. They normally use darker texts on lighter background, okay, as compared to the highway, which require drivers to see from a distance. Again, color contrast, lots of people, you can't read this. This is too vibrant, okay, and hurting your eyes. Don't do that. Same goes here. You can't really read when the images are too much at the back there. It's pretty hard for you to read the words here. So what you can do, perhaps you can put a border there, you know, give a bit of opacity to the border and you can read it clearly here. Okay, it's just one example of what you can do. This is bad color scheme, you know, goodness, okay, it's just hurting the eyes. Well, this actually happens. There's a design disaster during London 2012 Olympics, you know. They paid for the designer to design the logo of the Olympic logo, cost about £400,000. So you can times 5 or 6 Malaysian money, costs a lot. You know, when you combine these vibrant colors and when you animate the logo, people who look at the logo feel really dizzy, okay? So the logo doesn't work, the color coordination doesn't work, so it becomes a disaster, design disaster, and they had to take down the logo. This is one of the bad example of design, color coordination too vibrant, which doesn't work. Okay, so now take your slide or your design beyond bullet points. Everything again, as I said, should be simple, but not simpler. Okay, if it's too simple, people might not get your the information you're trying to deliver. So you have to take into consideration all the point that we have discussed just now. And again, as I said, being simple is not that simple. It requires training, okay? Okay, for example, here, when people read faster than you speak, this means you are useless. So don't cram too much information in one slide. You can always add another slide. Besides, it doesn't cost you, you know. So add lesser texts in one slide, but you can have more slide instead, okay? This is even worse. I've seen this a lot in conferences, okay? So try to use less text, more image, wild image, okay, which can attract your audience. If you still want, I mean, some of us, I understand that, you know, without all the texts, it's pretty hard for you to do presentation. You will not be able to remember a lot of information. This is why, you know, in PowerPoint, for example, you can produce two type of slides. One is for the audience, another one is for yourself, you know, so you can refer to another slide for you to just remember all the information. But for the viewer, it is enough. It's just a simple information as in this, yeah, like this one here. When you print out your PowerPoint, you can print with notes, okay, where all the information is there for you to refer to. That one there, okay, I believe this one most of you know already. So please inform with little text, right? All this will lead to great presentation, all right? Instead of PowerPoint, there are other software you can try out and use, like Emails, you know, Prezi. Of course, some you have to pay, some they provide free or trial version you can try out. Slide Doc, a lot. If you have no idea, okay, if you want to seek for ideas in creating templates for your slide design, there's a lot of option these days. You can just search from the Google images. You know, they can even provide you free PowerPoint templates. Okay, even UTM, we also provide a free presentation template for you to use in conferences. You can have a look. You can just search, you know, presentation template UTM. You will find all the free templates where you can download. Okay. Example there, we provide for our students and staff. Okay, just go there and download brand.utm.my. You can get all the free presentation templates. Therefore, I would like to thank you for your attention. Okay, see you in another topic. Thank you.